Hi, my name is Vicky, and today I'm going to be speaking about menstrual cycles and multiple sclerosis. Do menstrual cycles affect multiple sclerosis symptoms, or can they? So for me, that question, I've been having that question for some years now, and I asked my neurologist years ago, and she said it potentially can affect, but she isn't sure. So she said she hadn't done much research on that and she really didn't know about the topic. So she's like, it's possible, but I'm not sure. So she left me with that, right, years ago. And I was like, well, so every time my period comes, right, my menstrual cycle comes, I talked to one of my friends and she's like, I go crazy whenever, I have my period as well. And it's every month, we talk about it because we're like, oh, we can't control our anger. And she doesn't have MS. But, I've had multiple sclerosis for 14 years, by the way, if anyone is new here. But I do mention that in my other videos, but either way, so go watch them if you haven't. But very quick, like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already done so. I talk about multiple sclerosis symptoms and issues and how to overcome them if I've already established or discovered how to overcome the symptoms on my own. Either way, I know everyone's different, but we're all human, so hopefully you can tweak it a little bit and it can help you. But yeah, today's conversation, I know it's a little TMI, but I was actually on my period last week, and the week before my period starts, my symptoms start rising. I cannot go to sleep. I cannot, those are symptoms that already affect me anyways with multiple sclerosis. And another thing is brain fog. It affects me. I try to keep it at bay with all the regimens that I do. So I do most of the time keep it at bay. But once a month, whenever my period comes, it's like crazy. I cannot control it. My anger is off the charts. Like my fuse is very small. And I understand that a lot of females that do not have MS may have the same problem, but it's PMS. There's another, it's a real issue. But I actually finally just researched, does my menstrual cycle affect multiple sclerosis? And what do you know? It did state that this article I came across did state that it does affect. It can affect multiple sclerosis symptoms because your body is overheated when your period is coming. For me, it's 2 weeks out of the month that this happens. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. Like, I can't sleep. My body is hot at night. I don't know what is going on. And I'm like, what the heck do I do? And I have to medicate myself to go to sleep, because if not, I will not sleep all night. Like, period. I usually have my sleep under control with all my yoga, AM, PM yoga stuff, my meditation. I try. But when it comes that week of my period, or the 2 weeks, the week before my period and the week of my period. Like, the week before my period, I tried to track it this time. It was last week. It passed. But TMI, sorry. But either way, so for me, the symptoms that I experienced this time, because they're all kind of different sometimes, and I try to pay attention to what I'm doing different. But this time around, I do know that I stopped drinking as much water as I'm supposed to. So I decreased my amount of water intake. So I'm going to increase that, and I'll see if it helps me. But either way, I had serious constipation. Constipation, like cramps all the way to my feet. So either way, like to the bottom, and it was so painful. And I couldn't poop, so I didn't want to eat, but I was starving. I know most females, I'm sorry, this is a female video, sorry, I know. You guys, if you guys are taking care of a female that has multiple sclerosis, you might want to stay tuned, but if not, you probably already got off anyways. But either way, I think it's good to be informed, and I know it's a little TMI and a little embarrassing, but hey, it happens every month to us females, so might as well know what's going on. Because I've seen people ask as well on the MS chats, like, does your period or does your menstrual cycle affect MS symptoms? And yes, I found out it did. So It's so crazy, but it makes sense. You know, your body is heated, is overheated inside. Your temperature, let me tell you what it says, what it says exactly here on this article, and I'll see if I can post it here so you know which article I'm speaking about. But it says the temperature of the female body rises before and during a period. Before, which is the week before, is why I get all crazy. And so, and this can affect the symptoms of MS. Symptoms that include fatigue, depression, balance issues, and weakness can be more challenging before and during menstruation, which is your menstrual cycle, your period. But so yeah, that makes complete sense to me. And I was always adamant, like I was always saying, like something's wrong with me, not just my period. And see, before I had MS, I didn't have any problems with my menstrual cycle. Like I didn't have any complaints like other girls, and everyone's different. So a lot of people, some girls have had like crazy, like I have to stay at home, I'm cramping so bad periods, even when they were younger. When I was younger, I didn't feel like the period affected me any. You know, yeah, I had anger issues here and there, but it didn't matter whether I was on my period or not. You know what I'm saying? Like I just had anger issues when I was a kid, I guess, here and there, but not all the time. But either way, like I don't know what, you know, what was going on. So, and I could never get a definite answer from my neurologist. So I was like, thank you, Google. But yeah, so I just finally Googled it, you know, this whole entire time. So I've been having MS since I was 20. So when I was a kid, I didn't have any menstrual cycle complaints, you know, like, yeah, okay, you know, I didn't like, you know, that it came every month, but like I didn't have to stay at home. I didn't have any cramps like crazy. I wasn't bleeding like out of the ordinary. Like I wasn't, I'm sorry about that. But because that's gross. But either way, you know, some people, they bleed and they like the blood goes everywhere because it's too much, you know. Not me, that wasn't me. Like I was good, I could still go out, I could still, like, it didn't bother me too much. But after MS, oh my god, my temper is just crazy. My fuse, like I'm just 0 to 100 like real quick. And I honestly, I never knew why, and I'm like, oh my god, it's every month. And so now I know why. So if you're a person that thinks, oh, does the menstrual cycle affect my MS symptoms? And MS symptoms can vary for everyone, so they can be different for anyone. But for me, the MS symptoms that I speak about, for me, that do affect me at times, and not always, you know, I try to keep them at bay, but it is IBS symptoms, which is like constipation or diarrhea. So when my period is going to start, I'll either be like really loose stool, or diarrhea, or constipation. But I'm gonna try to drink more water, and maybe that would help for so that the IBS symptoms do not arise. But so I'm gonna see if that does work. But other than that, I mean, I still try to exercise. You know, around that time, I don't want to do anything. I'm just lazy, and I'm like, I can't even think right or anything. So I'm like, what is wrong with me? And honestly, the week after my period is over, I'm like, whoa, I'm back. Like my life is back. Like, but it's every month. This super sucks. I wish there was something that I can do so that I wouldn't have my period and no complications, but it's okay. Because I've heard that because I've thought of getting a hysterectomy, but they're like, doctors are like, girl, you don't need one. But I'm like, I do, because I don't want my period. But they're like, then you'll go through the what is it, the after you no longer have your periods, and you go through this what is it, hot flashes and all this other stuff. So I can't think of the name right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about, like the post, like, oh my god, what is it? It is why can't I think about it? But so when you're over the age of 65 or 50, then you stop having periods, and then but anyway, so your life takes you're older, and so you no longer have periods. So, but I'm scared of that too, because then there's complications with that. Either way, so I hope everyone every female, and if you're taking care of a female, I hope that you guys try to keep that under control. But I have a schedule so that I know, hey, I need to, check myself if I'm getting too crazy, like, or if I'm getting angry, I need to go to like my room by myself for a little while to cool down, because I try to meditate more. I'm trying to do that, but I just found out and confirmed, like, I always kind of knew that MS was affecting my menstrual cycle, but I never confirmed it. I did not have confirmation. So now that I have confirmation, and why? Because your heat in your body internally, it arises, so it makes sense to me. So I have to have things make sense to me. But either way, so now it makes sense to me. So I'm like, okay, so now I gotta tackle it more. Now I gotta be more like drinking more water around that time, like increasing my water intake instead of decreasing it. Like I have to eat more. I have to, I'm gonna try to walk more, and do a little bit, increase my exercise regimen around that time, and see if that helps me as well. I don't know what else to do. But either way, just wanted to let y'all know that fact there, because that was a question in my mind for years, for many, many years. So thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys are well. I'll see you guys soon.